Right, good afternoon to you from Goodison Park, and today's First Division game is between Everton and Arsenal, and then at the moment you see Everton on the pitch. Everton, of course, lying at the moment third in the league and playing at home, hoping to do extremely well against their opponents who are just taking the field now, and that is Arsenal. Arsenal lying midway in the league at the moment, but Everton, of course, expected to do good after the thrashing, dare I say it, against Liverpool in midweek in the Screen Cup final. There has been a change in the Everton team. We find that in place of Neil Adams, in place of, I should say, Adrian Heath, Neil Adams comes in, and I'll give you the Everton team now. The Everton team lines up as follows. Bobby Binns is in goal, 2, Derek Mountfield, 3, Paul Power, 4, Kevin Radcliffe and captain, of course, 5, Dave Watson, 6, Kevin Langley, 7, Trevor Stephen, 8, Neil Adams, and he's the man that's come in place of Adrian Heath, who unfortunately damaged his ankle in the midweek game, 9, Graham Sharp, 10, Paul Wilkinson, 11, Kevin Sheedy. And over to the Arsenal team, and Arsenal have made a change as well. They have Charlie Nicholas is out, unfortunately, with stitches in the knee, 16 in all in his last game against Nottingham Forest. And their team lines up as follows. In goal we have John Lukic. At number 2, Viv Anderson. Number 3, Kenny Sansom. 4, Steve Williams. 5, David O'Leary. 6, Tony Adams. And 7, David Rocastle. 8, Paul Davis. Number 9, Neil Quinn. Number 10, Ian Allinson. And number 11, Perry Groves. Well, it's a glorious afternoon here at Goodison this afternoon with a cricket-like atmosphere down there. The turf looking exceptionally good. It's all set for a very, very good game indeed, and let's hope that Everton will put that reverse behind them against their opponents across the park and come out and play as we know they can in front of their home crowd. Well, Arsenal at the moment lying 9 points as opposed to Everton's 15 in the First Division Championship. And incidentally, today's game is the first game sponsored by Today, the newspaper. They've put a few £1 million into the sponsorship of the game, so today's game is today's game because it's today, Everton versus Arsenal. And the teams are kicking in, and at the moment, we're waiting for the referees and his officials to take the field. And the referee today is Keith Hackett, well known in the circles from Sheffield. His linesman with the red trim on his flag to the right, that's Jay Hyam. And the other linesman, G.R. Sant from Altrincham, with the yellow trim on his flag. And of course, as usual, we have a mascot on the field, and the crowd rise as they always do here at Goodison to give the mascot something to remember, a day to remember. Well, we are expecting great things from Everton because in midweek, when they lost against Liverpool in the second leg 4-1, the aggregate of course was 7-2, Mr. Howard Kendall didn't let them have their normal day off. They were brought back to watch the, as he called it, a hammer video, which was the replay of the game. And I shouldn't imagine on Thursday morning any of the boys wearing the blue shirts out there this afternoon were feeling at all comfortable about it. And they've no doubt had their pep talk. They've been told what they've got to do. They know where the goals are. They know where the ball is. And as the mascot leaves the field and the officials call the teams together, and it looks like Arsenal has won the toss and will be kicking in the goal to our right. That's the Gladys Street goal, and the goal to our left is, of course, the Stanley Park goal. I'm sitting here in the Bullens Road stand opposite the main stand, and we will have quite a good crowd here this afternoon as the teams are lined up, and we see that Steve Williams standing on the wall, ready to kick off. The referee whistles the game into motion as the ball is put back to Dave O'Leary. Neil Quinn, intercepted by Radcliffe. And that was a return ball by Viv Anderson to put the ball out. Power. Radcliffe. Square ball. To Watson. Intercepted by Paul Davis. And that'll be the first touch, or should have been, but he was out of his area for Bobby Bims, so he gets Power away. Push on Wilkinson there by Radcliffe, by Williams. Free kick to Everton. I wonder if Trevor Stevens will shoot this one in from that distance. Well, he has done. Too hard for anyone to get hold of. Good header by Radcliffe. Can't keep the ball in. And with Anderson. Another free kick to Everton. Radcliffe to take it. High ball. Well, that was a quite blatant shoulder there, but the referee allowed play to go on. Good play by the defence there to whip the ball out as Neil Adams threatened. Kenny Sansom. Paul Wilkinson. Sansom. Back to Lukic. Lovely sunny afternoon. Lukic now making the full use of his area. Throws one out to Sansom. Didn't find his Quinn. Good ball by Stevens, put down to Wilkinson. Controlled well there by Adams. And put back a long way there by Langley, and the crowd didn't like that, but nevertheless a high ball headed out by O'Leary. Mountfield fouling the Arsenal player there. Steve Williams to take it. Midfield, about 10 yards infield from the Arsenal left. It's gonna right foot this one, and it's high. Chance for Quinn, got his foot to it. Unfortunately, Adams couldn't get the kick, couldn't get the final touch there. A little bit of loose play there, indeed, by the Arsenal forwards as the ball dropped. And in fact, I think we've got a bit of an injury there on Adams, Tony Adams, a tall number 6. Must be at least 6'1", I would feel. High jump by Wilkinson. Returned by Paul Davis. Kenny Sansom up high. Trevor Stephen from fully 30 yards, putting that ball back to his keeper. And so far we haven't seen an awful lot of excitement, nothing to shout about, no real chances. As the ball drops very deep into the Arsenal half. Wilkinson fouled yet again by Tony Adams, and earning a free kick in quite a good position here. No doubt we might even see Sheedy coming in to take this one, I don't know. Langley standing there, as is Stephen, and Sheedy standing further back. So it might be one of the thunder shots that Sheedy can do. He scored a couple like this. Ball put back, and here it is. No, he's lifted it. Floated in, meant for Neil Adams, didn't get hold of it, comes upfield. And Radcliffe was there to push Perry Groves in the back. Free kick taken and offside. Or is the referee going to take the kick again? Yes, the kick has to be taken again. Wasn't taken in the right place, says our referee, Keith Hackett. So once again, we'll go through the motions. Almost on the halfway line. In fact, they've gained about 10 yards inside, but the referee says nothing. Who's to argue about it? A little bit of showmanship there as he pretends to put the ball back, but doesn't. O'Leary. Everton defence has gathered there. They'll have to do something clever to get past that lot. And good break here by Sheedy on the Everton left. An equally good ball to Sharp. Now Sharp will either go to the byline or try and cross it. He's working to the byline. Infield, shoots one in, and that was a good run by Sharp. Wasn't quite sure what to do. He was trying to go to the goal line, but decided to shoot, and unfortunately he hit the feet of an Arsenal player, defender. Good throw in here on this side by Paul Power, but unfortunately that's just another goal kick. Well, the scoreline is still Everton 0, Arsenal 0 in this first division game here at Goodison Park this afternoon. And Arsenal, in fact, looking on the field, have spent over £3 million in assembling the current squad. But in the last 2 years, they haven't spent an awful lot of that. So, no doubt, the manager, and that is George Graham, is hoping to do great things with the boys he's got playing. At the moment, Everton on the ball. Langley falling there to the challenge from Viv Anderson. The ball kicked upfield, more in hope than direction, by Steve Williams. Radcliffe to Mountfield, back to Captain Radcliffe in his own half. Headed towards Wilkinson. Lost there by Tony Adams. Rocastle. Viv Anderson. Lukic. So, pattern of that at the moment. Arsenal containing the ball within themselves, keeping the game moving. Lukic using the full length of his goal kick, getting to the edge of the area. Tall boy Neil Quinn. He scored the goals which established a 2-0 first leg advantage over Huddersfield during the week. That was in the Littlewoods Cup. He's, I say, a very tall boy. Must be at least 6'2", 6'3", and no doubt will give the Everton defence a little bit of trouble. That was a shot there from Ian Allinson from fully 40 yards out, which did no damage at all, and quite even. Arsenal very, very tall and big at the back there. We've got O'Leary there. And we also have, of course, that man that got the Tony Adams. Radcliffe, that's returned by Sheedy. Paul Power putting it against Steve Williams. Throw into the Blues. As I say, the very tall players at the back for Arsenal are quelling the forward rushes of the Everton forwards. Sharp here now. Back to Sheedy. Good ball for Wilkinson, if he can get the ball through. The shot by Stephen. Well, that must go down as a chance. Good pass by Wilkinson. He put Trevor Stephen in the right position. Well, Trevor Stephen was in the right position and he hit the ball well, but one perhaps feels that he shouldn't have put it nearer the keeper than that. And normally that would have been put away very well indeed by a player of the calibre of Trevor Stephen, who's on the ball now but losing it. Power, we notice, coming from the back all the time to be with the forwards up front. Radcliffe, long ball, meant for Sharp. Return, Quinn to Groves, but Groves is offside. No question about that, with the linesman's flag up here. And the referee acknowledging it. Watson to put the ball into action down here to our left, where the Arsenal defence has been put under a little bit of pressure. And in fact, the referee alleges there that the Everton player backed And the crowd don't like that. Well, backed into this tall number 6, Tony Adams, and we've had this situation right through the game. Tony Adams and Sharp. But at the moment, Arsenal running the ball out on that far side. Notice of the referee, they're off a blue shirt, so that's a throw in to the Blues. Or to Arsenal, I should say, on their left. And that's Kenny Sansom to take it. Long ball, edge of the area. Quinn is up high. Higher still was Watson. Could only put it back to Sansom. Chance here of a shot. Controlling the ball well is Paul Davis. Sansom again. Groves going up, missing it completely. The ball coming from Quinn. Kicked out by the Blues defence. A little bit of danger there. A little bit of hearts in the mouths for the Blues. For Everton. Wilkinson with a good ball down there to Neil Adams. Can he turn? No, decides to play it to the right. Good run by Stephen to collect. Long ball in. Viv Anderson. Mountfield. Sheedy. Adams. Too deep, too far. And that was a chance gone begging again as we see the ball put out for a... And Viv Anderson there gesticulating to Sheedy about something off the ball, but to take the throw in. Radcliffe, Groves, Watson, Wilkinson, Davis, Tony Adams. Good ball for Quinn, but Mims will be there faster. That shows the anticipation of Mims. He's grown in stature at every game and really a solid wall at the back there for the Blues. Mountfield to Watson now. Watson. Sharp. Stephen lost it completely. Took his eye off the ball there as he was harassed again by Ian Allinson. And as we said earlier, Ian Allinson watching Stevens like a hawk. Break here for the Arsenal by Groves. Good cover play, and that's the first corner. It's the first corner of the game. 22nd minute of the first half. The score still Everton 0, Arsenal 0. And Steve Williams, the tall number 4, Arsenal player, to go across to take this from the Arsenal left. And this looks like it could be an outswinger. Although we see Viv Anderson standing there almost on the penalty spot. Might be a ball for him. The ball is loose. It's in the goal. That's a goal. And I think, I don't know if that came off a blue shirt or was put in by an Arsenal shirt. Although we see Viv Anderson standing there almost on the penalty spot. Might be a ball for him. The ball is loose. It's in the goal. That's a goal. And I think, I don't know if that came off a blue shirt or was put in by an Arsenal shirt. That was, well, that was one out of the blue. The corner came in from the left. It fell in the centre there, and a lot of bodies were there. And when we get the name on the scoreline over there, I might tell you who scored it. I think it might have been an own goal. And I think our fellow commentators opposite are in as much quandary as I was, because we didn't quite see how the ball went in. It seemed to go underneath the diving body of Mims. So that puts Everton 0, Arsenal 1, with 22 minutes to go in this first half. And the scorer of the goal is still a mystery, but I feel it was off the heels, possibly off the defence. And if we get something later, we'll tell you. Well, that was definitely against the run of play, but that's what football is today. If you don't capitalise on chances, there was a good chance earlier on when Wilkinson headed the ball across to the side, and Trevor Steven shot it straight at the keeper virtually, and that was chance gone begging, and because of those lapses, a goal like this puts Everton now in arrears, and they've got to climb the mountain. He's still again. Well, it's certainly against the run of play, and against the form as well, one might say, although I wonder if that psychological game against the Reds in midweek has had any effect on the game today. And at the back again, Tony Adams climbing very, very high indeed. Groves floored there by Langley, and that will of course be a free kick for Arsenal midway inside the Everton half. And the tall boys go forward again, gaining in confidence with the goal under their belts. We still are wondering who scored the goal. Steve Williams, Radcliffe, Power, Davis, Williams, Langley, Davis, Allinson. Arsenal showing confidence now. They've raised their game a gear. Cut out at the back by Neil Adams in the team today because of the injury to Ted Heath. Sorry, not Ted Heath, Adrian Heath. Power. Good play at the back there once again by Tony Adams. Chance for Wilkinson there, but round the post. Well, that's how a game can change so quickly from one side to the other, and there was Wilkinson in a scoreable position, but unfortunately putting the ball round the post. Certainly looked the sharper of the two strikers for the Blues this afternoon. A little bit sharper than Sharp, but defences they're tall, and they're standing with their men, so there's not giving Everton an awful lot of chance. A goal ahead, and Everton will have to do a lot more pressure than they are at the moment to retrieve the position. Mountfield. Return to Mountfield. Got another bite at the cherry. Rocastle. Good play by Sheedy. That will be the keeper's ball. Can't get hold of it. Chance for Sharp. Oh, well. Keeper missed the ball completely, and there was a chance. Definitely begging the keeper on the deck. Sharp in a good shooting position, and not putting the ball where it should be. Well, the crowd trying to lift. And no doubt Mr. Kendall will have a few choice words to say to the blue shirts when they go in. Anderson controlling the ball well. Good tackle by Sheedy there. Good ball for the Blues to run onto, but the keeper was out. And there again was Tony Adams policing the ball, or policing the two men himself. Wilkinson and Sharp were there, but Williams, Steve Williams, good ball for Perry Groves. Power back to help out and whip the ball back fast there. Once again, Everton start to climb the mountain yet again. Mountfield. Sharp. And in fact, David O'Leary waving his arm there as if he was offside. He was not offside. The referee didn't think so, neither did the linesman. Good play here by Stephen. He's broken clear. Tony Adams heading out. Langley, Stephen, Langley. Sheedy. Sharp. Well, Graham Sharp falling over the diving body of the keeper. And Everton starting to play a little bit better now in these last couple of minutes. No doubt realising they've got to go and see their manager face to face in less than 14 minutes, and they want to go there not with red faces. That 1-0 to down, the goal scored by a melee in the penalty area, and we feel it might have been an own goal. Quinn high in the centre there. Sheedy, Langley, but Langley anticipating Sheedy coming down, but Steve Williams equal to the occasion Back to Viv Anderson, up high to Quinn. Break by Langley. Trevor Stephen gets Wilkinson away. Watson. Neil Adams. That'll go out for a throw-in. Off an Arsenal boot. Trevor Stephen. Sheedy. That's the equaliser. No, says the referee. No, says the referee. Offside. And the linesman acknowledging it on the far side. Well, Wilkinson put the ball across here. Sheedy danced past his man. Loves those balls. Put the ball where it should be, but only inches in it. And, of course, the crowd to our right didn't like that one. That is the Everton crowd gathered in the stand to our right. Quinn. Radcliffe. Power. Langley. Sheedy. Sharp. Bad ball by Sharp there. Straight to Allinson, who gives it to Paul Davis. The ball loose at the back again. And Groves arguing with the referee about that ball, but no, says the referee. It's the Everton ball. Well, Arsenal still leading 1-0. Stephen, good ball across here for Power. Chance for the keeper to show his height. Didn't quite have the lob that Power anticipated, and the keeper had only to step back a few yards to make it quite an easy catch. I think he could pick those out of the air all afternoon. And on paper, a far better team than the 9 points Arsenal have gained show. Tall player there, climbing like a bird, was of course Tony Adams. And he's getting the bird from the crowd, but he's certainly been a power in the defence of the Arsenal team. Directions there by David O'Leary, the number 5. I think Tony Adams will take this one. Sees his keeper there, but doesn't put it back to him. To Quinn. Rocastle falling there. That'll be easy for Mims. We can pick those out of the air all afternoon. Just want a little bit of magic now in this last minute before the break. There we saw Tony Adams climbing high yet again. And the crowd giving the whistles for half-time. Probably the Arsenal crowd to our left. A few of them have come up from Highbury this afternoon. Good run here by Neil Adams, but didn't go that extra step forward, and it's a throw-in. Mountfield, Langley, a mix-up there with the two Blues, Trevor Stephen and Langley, and at the moment the game dying a little bit. And there is the half-time whistle to bring a conclusion to the first half, with a goal scored in the 23rd minute of the game by, we don't know yet, but it was a melee in the penalty area from a corner. And one can only say very briefly that the defence of Arsenal has controlled the game at the back, and it is they mainly who have denied any goals by Everton. And Blues coming out ready to do credit to themselves and to their supporters, we hope, having made a change with Adrian Heath unfortunately injured, and Neil Adams in his place wearing the number 8, and the referee getting the boos of the crowd here, because probably some of the decisions they didn't like was the tall number Tony Adams at the back, getting away, they think, with quite a lot of pushing, but the referee alleged many times that this was due to the fact that the forwards were backing into him. Well, it's a difficult decision sometimes to make. There was Tony Adams once again with his head to the ball to put it out. Stevens, Langley, and a free kick awarded by the referee for pushing by Steve Williams. Free kick to Everton, 10 or 15 yards outside the penalty area, and we'll have the usual trio of Sheedy and Stevens, Langley there as well, and Sheedy will fire this one in, and that has put paid to somebody's tummy for a few minutes. Well, that was a number 4 Williams, but a good break by Perry Groves. An equally good tackle by Trevor Stevens, showing his worth. Trevor Stevens, that not only is he a forward up front, he's there back again in his defence. He gets the applause of the crowd, therefore, coming back to help out. Neil Adams to Trevor Stevens. Mountfield intercepted again. Good play by Stevens. Playing at the back at the moment. Sweeping the ball to this side. Mountfield. Stevens. A long ball meant for Neil Adams. Wilkinson is there. Crosses the ball in. That's going to go over and behind. And the crowd applause for... That's what the Blues have to do. Get that ball moving down the flanks and sweeping it across the park. Still plenty of time. Everton still leading, or I should say still losing 1-0. And one can sense that they are very, very eager and keen to get up front again. Quinn offside. Radcliffe to take the free kick. Deep. Once again, O'Leary up high. Collected in the midfield by Langley. Good ball here for Power. Corner. And I think the referee, well, no, doesn't give the corner. The crowd didn't like it. Sheedy getting the rebound off with Anderson. Sheedy. Power. Wilkinson missed completely there. We had with him, of course, Tony Adams again. Couldn't quite get his head to it. And goalkeeper now lifting the ball high to the head of Power. Wilkinson. Adams, Stevens through. Chance of Wilkinson to get a touch, didn't do so. Well, there was a chance begging and missing where Stevens had a brilliant run down the right, put the ball across, only needed a touch from Wilkinson, but unfortunately couldn't get his foot to it, and once again another goal has gone begging. But the crowd, realising that Everton have gone up a gear, are now starting to tick a little bit up front, and the crowd there in Bullens Road and round the ground lifting the Blues. Free kick to Everton. Power to take it. Once again, the tall Arsenal defence gathered like vultures. Sharp puts the ball through, meant for Stevens. Gets it off him, nearly got it again there, but Rocastle did sterling work there. And the referee saying that Stevens had feet up. Free kick. Arsenal stay calm as Kenny Sansom puts the ball back to John Lukic. And it's again with Sansom now as he decides to chip it back yet further again. This will only frustrate, of course, the Everton players as Lukic takes his time, bounces the ball. looks up with this high ball now into the return by Watson, comes down to Mountfield, and that's a throw into Arsenal on that far side, which will be taken by Steve Williams. Perry Groves on a run now, a man that likes to dive. He's dived a few times, and Radcliffe floored there by Rocastle. No, but Everton are not waiting around to have arguments. They want to get that ball moving, and there we see the ball going right between them, Sheedy and Mountfield, and back to Mims. Everton want the ball at their toes. You can't score without the ball, as far as I know anyhow. And the crowd starting to rouse the team. Mountfield now, one can sense that Everton are going to start to do something in these next couple of minutes or so. We'll see. Good ball by Stephen, put across to Radcliffe. Radcliffe stops, turns the ball a little bit too sharply, but it was straight to the head of Tony Adams. A chance here for the Arsenal. Quinn is through from 45 yards out, trying to beat a keeper of the calibre of Bobby Mims. Absolutely ridiculous. He should have taken that ball forward and then shot, but he didn't. And the Blues look happy for that. Good break here, kept in by Sharp. Tall, long ball there. Controlled by Sheedy. Back for Power. Back for Langley. To Watson. To Stephen. He'll fire one in. Good one over the top. Well, that has shown the difference now of Everton of the first half and Everton of the second half, because the last 5 minutes or so, Everton starting to turn the screw. Lovely sunny afternoon, the sun out yet again. We've got a bit of shadow over on the far side and shadow to our left, so Mims won't need a hat from the glare of the sun. As Lukic takes his goal kick, Quinn climbing high there, Radcliffe behind him. Arsenal gain the ball. Viv Anderson chips it to the centre, but watched at the back indeed very well by Mountfield and Watson. Watson, the man that gave it to Mountfield. Mountfield lifts it towards Wilkinson, and this time the referee says that David O'Leary had his arm around his neck, and the crowd agree. And in fact the referee agrees for the first time, because they've said that this has been going on all afternoon, that he's been held at the back, and justice has been awarded, if you like, as Sheedy will try perhaps one of his real hard ones. Well, the ball didn't quite come right for him. The Arsenal defence came out, and that was indeed Sansom giving away a free kick to Everton on the right-hand corner edge. The crowd's rising now as Stephen to take it. It's a very, very sunny afternoon. Sheedy and Stephen puts his arms in the air. If that means Sheedy's taking it. It's a high one. The keeper's up. He's got it. Well, as I say, in the last 5 or 10 minutes, and now Everton starting to come back. One can sense that they are now have got the bit between their teeth, which they didn't have in the first half. Let's be truthful. Now they seem to have found another gear. Wilkinson offside there, as they got a good ball through to him from Power, and the linesman on this side on the right. That is Mr. Sant, G.R. Sant, had his flag in the air, and that's a chance for O'Leary to get the game into motion. For Quinn, climbing high, putting him. Well, obviously that came off Derek Mountfield, because an Arsenal throw-in has been awarded. Arsenal right towards Quinn. Steve Williams in there too, but that will be a free kick. Free kick to Arsenal. Well, a loose ball indeed, and no chance at all for Wilkinson to get hold of that one. And Lukic quite happy to hold the ball a bit. Arsenal still leading by that solitary goal scored in the 23rd minute, we think, by Steve Williams. Returned into touch here by Trevor Stephen, thrown in by Sansom now towards Quinn, towards Groves, but good play by Mountfield. Controlled on the hip, or meant to be controlled by Sharp. Unfortunately, he couldn't keep it in, and that there's a throw-in again to the Arsenal, and Kenny Sansom notioning to Quinn to get further infield. Won't beat Trevor Stephen. There's the worth of a player like Trevor Stephen. He was up front 1 minute and he's down back helping out at the other and doing good work to get the Blues away there, but only winning the ball against the body of David O'Leary, the number 5. And these players at the back, for, as I said before, David O'Leary and Tony Adams playing so very well. But Everton just seems to have that little bit of edge at the moment, and it only needs a goal to make a difference. A diver there, the crowd roar there that O'Leary had touched it. And Allinson, as Power came in there and clashed with Viv Anderson, but the result going for a goal, a free kick to Arsenal, to be taken of course by Lukic. Lukic to O'Leary and back to Lukic. Sunny, glorious afternoon. Everton just seeming to be gaining the initiative, and they've got to keep that momentum going if they want to get a result here this afternoon. Otherwise, Arsenal will just play the game they played in the first half and take the edge again off the Everton players. Well, another result against O'Leary. The crowd have been calling for that all afternoon, and he's arguing with the referee, and he'd be better to keep quiet because he could get his name in the book, Mr. Keith Hackett from Sheffield. So another free kick, and we'll probably see we'll see Sheedy, we'll see Stephen there, we'll see Lagley there, and the shot will probably come from either one of two players, and that'll be either Sheedy or Stephen. They're talking about it now, and Sheedy's going to fire one in. The ball came back to Watson there, and all he could do was hit it round the post. Well, a terrific shot from Sheedy, and saved by the keeper, couldn't hold it, and the resulting shot from Everton's David Watson didn't do the justice it should have done. Lukic. Ball is loose. Power. Sharp. And all kinds of problems he gave himself there running back with it, but he kept the ball. That was what he meant to do. But Radcliffe's ball upfield, put out by Arsenal. And we see Mountfield substituted there. And Warren Aspinall comes on. So Derek Mountfield has been substituted. Warren Aspinall, he's a striker. Played in a few games for Everton this season as Warren Aspinall. Not one of the first choices, but nevertheless he might bring a little bit of fire up front, because that's badly what they need at the moment. Just to give you the Warren Aspinall's statistics when I can find them. Quinn's through. Good play at the back there by Watson. Stopped him doing any further damage. Well, Warren Aspinall has made 51 appearances for his league career. He scored 22 goals. And in he's been substituted 3 times. He's come on as substitute for Everton. He's never played a full game, so but what he'll do this afternoon might be the answer that Everton are looking for. They seem to be taking the initiative. Now they're laying back again, and the game has gone to a 50-50 situation, but Arsenal still have the most important of all things, the goal, and that goal was scored in the first half. So it gives them that difference. 1-0 Arsenal lead here at Goodison Park this afternoon in this First Division game, sponsored by today's newspaper. Free kick, Watson to take it for Everton. They've got to keep that momentum going. Davis. He's only hit those against the legs of Neil Adams, and Sansom to take the throw. Finds Quinn, chests it round, controls. Good play by Wilkinson. Coming back, feeds the ball to Aspinall. Takes it on his chest, Sansom. Good ball there for Quinn, but offside. Very fast in need is Sansom to see a position to which he can take advantage, and he saw Aspinall in the right position there, but unfortunately he was offside. Stephen on a run across the park to Radcliffe. Bad ball straight to Paul Davis, who said thank you very much, and gets Quinn away on the right. Quinn trying to do some magic there, can't do so. A throw in to Everton. In fact, a free kick for alleged foul by Quinn. Power lifting it. Wilkinson. Trevor Stephen running across to try and keep this ball, then he won't be able to, but he'll have the throw in, and he'll throw that quickly to Langley, I would feel. To Watson. Now to Langley. Langley will lift that into the area. Well, he lifted it into the left-hand corner edge of the area, which was quite nice for Ian Allinson to do his run downfield now. Short ball, not controlled at all by Groves. Back to Viv Anderson. Offside, surely there. No, says the roundsman, but he was offside by a few yards, but he placed it in class. A chance here for the Blues. Nearly twice put through. Neil Adams doing Trojan work up front there. Chance for Trevor Stephen. He'll fire one in. Took a deflection off Tony Adams, but the goalkeeper, luckily for him, it came into his arms, and another chance gone missing. Trevor Stephen, the man that's really trying so very hard to pull this Everton team up by their socks. Still trailing that one goal. There he is again. Good ball by Trevor Stephen. Finds Aspinall. We'll have to beat the tall fellow of Adams, Tony Adams. Langley bundles his man off the ball. And well, he did it. Gave a good ball to Wilkinson. He'd have to keep moving. Moves it to Power. Everton turning the ball sweetly now down that left wing. Good ball in. Keeper is up. Chance for Sheedy to get his head to it and put the ball out for the corner. In fact, for the goal kick, I should say. Well, when Everton move, they can move nicely, and Power there on the overlap, on the run, put the ball through right across the area there, and on this side, Sheedy came in, could only head the ball round the post instead of into the net. So, goal kick now for Arsenal. Very, very sunny afternoon. Could be quite hot out there. Players looking a little bit tired already. One feels that anyhow, perhaps they're not. Lukic with his goal kick. Radcliffe climbed high. Denied Quinn. Chance for Aspinall, can he control the ball? And David O'Leary having to give the corner away. You see Aspinall there, full of running and wanted to touch that ball. Lukic, Aspinall not played a full game for Everton in the first division game this season. Put in by Wilkinson, and the final header that came from Watson straight into the arms of Lukic, who, if you like, was in the right place at the right time. Not in any hurry at all to take this one. Well, we've got 19 minutes to go before full time. Ball headed by Sheedy, chance for Aspinall. This time it's hit high into the air by Tony Thing, and the referee says play on. And one felt there that there was some infringement or other, because the Everton players stopped altogether, but the referee wouldn't have anything of it. And the ball in play again. Paul Davis, ball put out to this side. Offside given against an Arsenal player. Watson to take the free kick. Watson now. Of course. Return. Good ball put forward by David Rocastle for Perry Groves, who went on to a very good cover play at the back by Radcliffe to Stephen, to Langley, to Stephen. Now we see Everton moving, throwing the ball around. This is what they've got to do. Neil Adams now. Headed out under the bar underneath in the penalty area by David O'Leary. Comes to Trevor Stephen. Runs back with the ball. He'll probably give this one to Neil Adams with it. Sheedy calling for it. And Neil Adams lifts it to the far side. The final header coming from Paul Power. There's no danger at all to Arsenal. And quite easy there for Lukic to let it go and put the ball down now. Well, at the moment, Everton are playing in patches. They seem to be coming into the game again. One felt there was something going to happen, but it hasn't. Arsenal have withheld the storm from them, and the game is settling down into a pattern very, very similar to the first half. There is a little bit more endeavour in the Everton team. Aspinall, who's on the ball now, he came in for Derek Mountfield, but another offside decision against Everton. Quick break by Arsenal. They're keen to get the ball too. They want to get another goal. Rocastle, good ball put forward too to Davis. Davis running down to this flank. Just puts it back to Sansom. Good chance there. Headed away from underneath the bar there by Watson. By Power, that was indeed. Power. So Arsenal are not going to be content with that goal. If they get a chance to go forward, they will do. And this is what they've just done here now. And good running indeed by Paul Davis there. Sansom throwing the ball to the area to Groves. Groves back to Sansom. He'd probably give it to Groves behind him to his right. No, he's going to go to the goal line. Trevor Stevens, there we see the worth of Trevor Stevens. Once again, back there to help out in his defence. Gives away a throw-in. Almost on the corner flag for Sansom. A tall head of Quinn, turning it towards the high-climbing Rocastle, but straight to Bobby Mims, who was throwing the ball up. Aspinall keeps the ball in, but only to the advantage, really, of Arsenal, because that's going to go out. Well, at the moment, they'll have to find an answer to the goal they are trailing Everton, because Everton at the moment seem to lapse yet again into the same pattern as they did in the first half. And one feels they've got to get some of these diagonal balls through, which will draw the big boys at the back out. Quinn nearly puts Groves through. Everton have the Neil Adams, throws in to Sharp, back to Neil Adams. Sheedy, Langley, Stephen, Langley, Power, Radcliffe, Build-up coming now from Everton. Sheedy turns again. Radcliffe. Wilkinson. It's a corner for Everton. So the endeavour there by the Blues has brought at least a corner. And that's Langley, I think, that's going across to take it. Straight to the head of Groves, who heads it out. Now, can Stephen do something magical here? Well, he finds Langley. Straight to Henderson, headed out. Very loose balls coming from the Blues at the moment. Aspinall controlling the ball well. And that will go out for a goal kick, will it? No, it's curled round. Yes, it's gone out, goal kick. And that probably must be very frustrating for the Blues now, as they're finding they're not getting the men, they're giving the loose balls, loose passing, and as such, the Arsenal are able to relax a bit more now, because they've got 14 minutes to go before the full-time whistle. They're leading 1-0, a solitary goal, scored in the 23rd minute by Steve Williams. Strong at the back again, Everton. Radcliffe trying to feed Aspinall away, but the ball put out for a throw-in. Trevor Stephen giving his all he can for his team now, trying to pull them up. Good header there indeed by the climbing Niall Quinn. Groves, Anderson, and that will, the crowd don't like that, almost on the halfway line, just about 5 or 10 yards inside his own half. Anderson turns around and says, "They are John Lukic, have a look at the ball," and he's looking at it now. And the game stops again as he takes his time. Sunny afternoon, Arsenal leading 1-0. Everton will really have to do some magic now. Very loose ball indeed. They can't afford to do that. They could put the Arsenal team in again, and if Arsenal go in for another goal, it could be very, very bad for the Blues. Mims ball upfield. Good header there by Neil Adams. Equally good pass by Sharp, and there's Trevor Stephen yet again. Good cross, keepers up. Falls under the challenge of Paul Wilkinson. I don't think the referee's awarded a free kick. No. Sharp shielding the ball well. Neil Adams. Good cross by Adams, deep. Infield, chance of a shot. Unfortunately for the Blues, it didn't go in. Well, Quinn got the better of his man there with a bit of jiggery-pokery. He got Allinson away on the right. Allinson has come in the team today in place, of course, of Charlie Nicholas. Charlie Nicholas, the flamboyant player of Arsenal, unfortunately has had 16-odd stitches in his knee. So that's how Allinson's in the team this afternoon. Chance here for Quinn to shoot. Power. Adams. Tony Adams. Radcliffe. Stephen. Aspinall and Sharp there, but no soloing whatsoever. Tony Adams lifting the ball out for the throw-in.